A drug dealer in the Pimlico area of Baltimore was trying to get away from the police and ran through a plate glass door, ended up getting cut and basically bleeding to death. And the neighborhood was outraged and felt that the police had let the guy die. So they were, the Jamaican community, small Jamaican community at that time, was very upset with Baltimore police. And there was going to be a memorial on a street corner for the guy who had died. And when I was there, it seemed pretty tense. You could feel the energy that the crowd was very unhappy, and several people came up to me and started pulling on my camera straps like they were getting ready to steal my equipment. One man came up to me and he said, "What are you doing here, man? You're crazy." And I kind of nodded my head and I said, "Yeah, I'm starting to think that myself." And I looked at him and I said, "You know, I keep hearing guns being fired, but I don't see any guns anywhere." So he looked at me and he said, "You want guns, man? I'll get you guns." And so he disappeared. I was standing there. About 5 minutes later, he came back. He said, "Follow me." And he started to walk me down this alley. And I took a few steps and said, "You know, this probably isn't the smartest thing in the world to do, go down an alley." But I said, "Well, I've gone this far, I might as well go the rest of the way." And when I went back in the alley, this gentleman was standing in the alley with several shotguns and pistols, and he said, "Take my picture." And I looked at him and I said, if I take his picture, before I leave here, somebody's going to think that wasn't a very smart idea. And I was going to have some trouble getting out of the area. So I told the guy, "I'm not going to take your picture. You're going to have to hide your identity," which in a way helped me, because then they realized I wasn't out to get them in trouble, that I was actually trying to help them. So he covered his face, and I took several pictures, and then we started to walk out of the alley. And as we were walking out of the alley, I heard these footsteps coming up behind me really fast, and the only other person in the alley was the guy with the guns. So I knew it was him, but he came up behind me, and I felt metal against, something hard, metal against the back of my head. And I said, "Oh, great." And all of a sudden he fired a pistol that he was holding up against the back of my head. And he fired it straight up in the air and started laughing. And at which point